Call to order. Ms. Carleen, can you please conduct roll call?
Yes, sir. Councilman Brumfield.
Present.
Councilman Adams is absent tonight. Vice Chair Perk.
Here.
Councilman Melvin.
Here.
Councilman Pierce.
Here.
Councilman Arabi.
Here.
Chairman Oten.
Here.
Councilwoman Shesso. Councilman Lorraine.
Here.
Parish President Ogeron.
Present.
Thank you very much, Ms. Carleen. If everyone please rise, we'll be led in invocation by Councilman Melvin, followed by Pledge of Allegiance by Councilwoman Chesso.
Dear Lord, help us to please carry out the business of our constituents who are also our fellow citizens in Lafourche Parish for the betterment of our parish, and that we can strive to do well and put our egos aside for the betterment of what we do. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. We'd first like to request that everyone please turn your phones off and or put them on silent out of respect for the others in the chambers. I'd also like to remind anyone wishing to address the council, please fill out a blue form that was located at the door that you came through. Get up to the council clerk. We'll be sure to recognize you during public wishing to address the council. And just a reminder of the way the meeting runs. During ordinances, we will ask 3 times for public input on each of the ordinances that are going to be up for discussion tonight prior to the council deliberating and ultimately voting. When we go to resolutions, it'll just be deliberations amongst the council and then taken to a vote. So if you have an item on a resolution you want to talk about, please fill out a form on public wishing to address the council. With that said, item A, state and or federal legislative updates. Do we have any state or federal legislators? I see none. Item B, we have none, Ms. Carleen. Item C, presentations and or updates. We have one tonight, and that one is, I got it. Item 1, presentation by Dr. Laura Batto and Ms. Kristen Anselmi on the planning of the 2026 Louisiana Girls Leadership Academy. And y'all can come on up to the mic, Miss Laura, Kristen. If you don't mind, just state your names and addresses for the record so we can pick them up for the minutes. And the mic is live.
All right. Hi, Kristen Anselmi, 133 Rosedown Drive, Thibodaux, Louisiana, 70301.
Laura Batto, 917 Jackson Street, Thibodaux. Thank you.
You can.
Reese Estelle Phillips, 6508 Marshall Foch Street, New Orleans.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for having us here, and Ms. Carleen for coordinating with us. We're here to speak about our 2025 Leadership Academy and give a little bit of a report. And as we do that, I'm going to introduce Reese Estelle. She's just going to give a little bit of a testimony as to her experience with the Louisiana Girls Leadership Academy. And we want to thank all of you for the Lafourche Parish Council for everything you've done to help us in executing this program, making it possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Reese Estelle Phillips and I'm a freshman at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette studying speech pathology and audiology. I've been a part of LGLA since 2021, starting as a participant, then a junior counselor, and this past year I was a junior program assistant. My love and gratitude for this program continues to grow every year. One of my favorite gifts from LGLA are the friendships I have made. I've been surrounded by a group of girls who have the same values and goals as me. We build each other up year-round. LGLA strives to show each aspect of leadership, including public speaking, running for office, and owning a business. There is even an etiquette class. Through the many different panels, speakers, and group activities, each girl walks away from the program feeling like she can conquer all her goals. The Ambassador campaign is an amazing part of LGLA. Here, each small group chooses 1 or 2 candidates to run for LGLA Ambassador. The groups become campaign teams, using their creativity to get their candidates' name known. The candidate also gives a speech to the entire program, and then on the last day, the participants vote. Every night, there is a fun activity to bring us all together. My favorite activities have been the governor's dinner and the pool party. LGLA is my home. It has given me my voice and my best friends. I cry every year when it's over because it is where I feel the most inspired and understood. I'm always counting down the days until the next program. There is currently 236 days until LGLA 2026. This past year, we received more applicants than ever before, so our need for funding has grown. It is help from people like y'all that makes this program a reality for so many girls. I thank God every day for putting LGLA into my life, and I thank you all for allowing me to speak with you today. Thank you.
And we want to thank Reese Estelle for driving in from UL to be here with us tonight. Also here, LGLA is in its 19th year, and it is under the director, actually, of the Lafourche Parish Commission for Women, President Dr. Laura Batto, who also serves as the executive director for the Louisiana Center for Women in Government and Business. As Reese Estelle said, the program is only continuing to grow in need. Last year, we received at the close 300 applications, which was completely amazing. We were able and funded to take 80 young women into the program. It was very competitive, which is very exciting. In these packets that you have of our report, you're going to see all of the 2025 data and survey results, which show you the way the program has grown since 2022, when we were fighting to receive 100 applications for 80 spots, and to be where we are now is just incredible. And you'll also see how our participants ranked after going through the program. And like Reese Estelle, we have young women that fight to come back year after year because they truly do meet women that are like themselves for the first time. They are ambitious, they are driven, they want to be business owners, they want to be civic leaders and leaders in their community, so they truly find their voice and their platform, and they learn how to execute that, and they meet mentors through the program. I think I've written 6 or 7 college application letters so far for recommendations. With that being said, we're also doing a lot for Lafourche Parish. A lot of the young women, I think our college rate is currently at 99% of those young women that are graduating as seniors are matriculating into college. And I want to say 84%, I don't know if I'll put that number in here, it might be further in the back, are going to Nichols. And some of these young women that didn't even know Nichols existed before there, but we implant them onto our campus and they see everything that we have to offer in our community, and they end up coming back as colonels. So we're really proud of that. 100% of the funds that we receive from Lafourche Parish go to housing and feeding our participants at Nichols State University. So as those numbers grow up, as Reese Estelle said, we would love to expand our program. Our goal is to fundraise to be able to accept, Laura, 100. That's the goal for this year, is to be able to expand to accept 100 young women, because we are expecting another hike in the programming. Laura, would you like to say anything?
I know this is hard to believe that I can't speak, but I have a brain bleed from another hospital. And so I'm going to be, however, full force by the May. So thank you so much. I can't tell you that what it has done all of Louisiana, because people are looking about Louisiana and about that we are taking the I can't see, y'all, I'm sorry, I can't see yet, but I will. All right, but please understand how much this is going for Thibodeau, for Homa, for Racer. Yes, thank you for helping us.
Yes, thank you so much for all of your help. And does anybody have any questions specifically about the program? Or I know y'all are pretty familiar with us. We come every year and give our report.
Mr. Lorraine's got some comments.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Mr.
just
Lorraine.
wanted to thank you all, because this is a program that I've always pushed and try to help you all as much as I can. I've been doing it for a long time. And I see in the budget they put you $10,000, but we'll keep it at that for now. we'll wait till the budget comes up and see what happens. And I attended your banquet the last day, and I wish more councilmen would attend, but some of them got to work, so I could understand that. It's something really to see what these young ladies can do. It's unbelievable. The stunts that they do at the end, and they get together in all kind of little groups, and they really put on something that's everybody should see. I made the one last year, and if God says, I'm gonna make the one this year, and it's at Nichols. It's at Nichols. Now, when they had the supper by the doctor's house, there were quite a few councilmen that came. I don't remember all of them, but there were a few that came. But I wish everybody would come, if they can, to the banquet and see what these young girls can do. Y'all really motivate these gals. And they're all young kids. In fact, I could probably be their daddy, but I'm not, thank God. But anyway, I should maybe be their grandpa.
Great-grandpa.
That's better than great-grandpa.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure the council is going to help you out the best they can. And I put a little more than $10,000 in the budget at my request to them, but we'll see what happens. And, you know, I got to tell them, 10,000 is great. That's usually what you get. But don't forget inflation, so it might go up a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lorraine. And Mr. Brumfield, you have the floor, sir.
Well, I got the opportunity to attend the dinner that you all had at the Dr. Talori's house, and it was very impressive. So my prayer for you all is that God continues to order your steps, and many more years that it grows and grows and grows. Thank you.
Thank you all so
Thank you,
much.
Mr. Brumfield.
And if you would like to help us, there is information in the packet on what you can do to help. And the biggest thing is connecting us with businesses or with individuals that have the same mission and would like to get in touch with us about how they can help sponsor a young woman or help the program. But thank you all so much for having us and your continued support.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good luck. All right, that's it on presentations and our updates. Brings us to item D, engineer and architect reports. And I'm told we're not going to get any tonight, so we good. Item E, public wishing to address the council, public hearings, agenda items, etc. Ms. Carleen.
Ms. Jill Petrie, if you'd come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and please remember, you have 3 minutes, Ms. Petrie.
Jill Petrie, 3191 Choctaw Road, Thibodaux, 70301. Good evening. My name is Jill Petrie, and I want to begin by saying that I do understand that this council cannot change a judge's ruling or reverse a custody decision. What I am speaking about tonight is not a dispute over custody. It's about how parish-level agencies enforce court orders and respond to protective order violations. Those enforcement procedures and the coordination between local departments are within your authority as parish leaders responsible for public safety and accountability. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time when we're reminded that every statistic is a story, a family, and often a child whose voice goes unheard. I stand here not only as a former caregiver who lived through that reality, but also as the founder of a new initiative called the Petrie Promise Project, a nonprofit organization dedicated to protecting children, supporting survivors, and promoting accountability within the very systems meant to keep us safe. For more than 500 days, I cared for a child under 8 separate protection orders, 7 issued by the same judge in Lafourche Parish, each one acknowledging clear and ongoing danger. Protective orders are not issued casually. They are granted only when a court determines protection is necessary. That same judge also granted an ex parte order and a consent judgment that legally recognized me as having sole custody pertaining to the father, not the mother, because she was incarcerated. Those orders existed because the biological parent had a documented pattern of instability, arrests, and court-ordered supervised visitation limits. Then on January 3rd of 2025, everything changed. That same judge abruptly reversed custody while a protective order was still active. And the local law enforcement carried out that transfer without a signed judgment. The order was not signed until nearly 4 weeks later. There was no transition plan, no rehabilitation requirement, and no best interest review. That action blocked me from protecting the child, and not only from physical, but also emotional harm. But also the continued instability and neglect that the courts had already documented. When I continued to speak up, a retaliatory protective order was issued against me, the caregiver with no criminal history, who had kept that child safe for nearly 2 years. It stripped away the only consistent source of safety that child had, and it sent the message that speaking up for a child in danger can be punished instead of protected. After the reversal, the same parent was arrested again.
Someone want to, we're at the 3 minutes, so we'll relinquish 3 more minutes.
Thank you. After the reversal, the same parent was arrested again, proof that the risk was never resolved. This is not about one child or one caregiver. It exposes a pattern that endangers families in Lafourche Parish. Protective orders are issued and then ignored. Custody transfers occur without judicial verification, meaning law enforcement is acting on verbal instructions given in open court. The Louisiana law requires that a signed judgment be presented before any custody is changed and any order goes into effect. Agencies who are being notified of danger are failing to coordinate and act. In my case, the Child Protective Services told me they could only intervene with the judge's signature, but there was no oversight to ensure those signatures exist or align with the facts. Children left completely unprotected in this parish. I'm asking this council to take 3 realistic local steps. Create a child safety oversight task force to review how protective orders and custody changes are handled in Lafourche Parish. Adopt a verification process requiring confirmation of a signed judgment before any custody transfer is enforced by parish agencies. Hold quarterly interagency meetings between law enforcement, child protective services, and community advocates to close communication gaps. These are not judicial actions. They are public safety measures within your reach. The law that protect children already exists. What's missing is local enforcement and coordination. Please let this story be a warning and a call to action. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm asking for accountability, integrity, and courage. The kind that ensures the next child in danger will not be failed by this system. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Were there any questions?
Anybody has any issues, any questions? Any engagement? No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Elliott Day, if you'd come to the podium, state your name and your address for the record, Mr. Day.
Lafayette Elliott Day, Jr., 1208 Highway 307, Thibodaux, Louisiana. Parish Council, Interim President Orgeron, and citizens of Lafourche Parish. With pride, optimism, and excitement, I am here to announce my candidacy for Lafourche Parish President. I moved to Lafourche in 1991, but have over 3 generations of my family buried in St. Joseph's Cemetery. While Day may not be the most common name here in Lafourche, my family consists of Gros, Clement, Diaz, Navarre. I am without a doubt a son of Lafourche Parish. I don't come from a political family nor money. I've worked for everything I have and strive to rise no matter what job I have. In 1998, I graduated Bruley High School, attended LSU for 2 years for engineering, and ran out of money. Moved back to Lafourche, started at Nichols, and worked for Rouse's, where I quickly moved up from stock crew to assistant crew chief. Then took a job with the sheriff's office so I could do my homework at night. I signed on with Sheriff Duffy Breaux. I then started correctional officer work. Worked my way to patrol, where I patrolled mostly the central area, then detective, where I did most of my work in North Lafourche, and finally became a dare officer in South Lafourche from 1998 to 2001, where I'm still proud to go down and hear Deputy Day. I part-timed it for dare as well as doing other activities from 2002 to 2008, where I was also the reserve coordinator, volunteers, and explorers. I was a state VIPS advocate, meaning volunteers in patrol. Whenever someone wanted to start a volunteer program, the state GOSEP, Governor's Office of Homeland Security, would direct them to me. In 2010, I was named the National Sheriff's Association National Explorer Advisor of the Year. And in 2012, I became the Lafourche Parish Range Master, taking over firearms as well as running the same programs. In 2016, I was promoted to captain and put as the academy director, where I held up the training for over 44 law enforcement agencies, as well as the in-service training for our local law enforcement here. In 2021, I was promoted to criminal major, which puts me third in supervision of the sheriff's office. During IDA, I was the nighttime supervisor responsible for all activities law enforcement related from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I lived right there in Lockport, except for the first week of the storm, where we lived right here because we didn't have a place for the sheriff's office. We actually embedded here with the parish government. After a year and a half there, I became operational support major. In my last 2 years, I've been a community event coordinator, coordinating over 500 events throughout Lafourche Parish, to not only what the sheriff's office could do, but if I could direct them to other programs or services in Lafourche Parish. During this time, I also kept a promise I'd made to myself and my mother that I would graduate. And in 2001, I graduated my associate degree in criminal justice from Nichols. And in 2019, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in criminal justice and continue to serve Nichols State University on the Criminal Justice Advisory Board. About to hit that 3-minute mark. I've received several recognitions.
Someone relinquish a few. Mr. Araby, yeah, continue, Mr. Day.
Thank you, sir. I'm not going to go through all the recognitions, but most recently this year I received the Service Above Self Award from Thrive in Thibodeau. Last year I received recognition from Beyond the Badge from working with Bless Your Heart to give housing to displaced citizens in South Lafourche after Ida. My community service also includes being a hunter's ed instructor for over 30 years, where I last year was inducted in the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Hall of Fame as an instructor. I've taught women's self-defense for over 30 years and was given the Aggressor Award. I was a founding member of the Beyond the Bell, Friends of Beyond the Bell, where I support the Beyond the Bell efforts in the Alledon community. And I'm also served as proxy for the last 3 years on the Lafourche Education Foundation, where I'll give props to Miss Deanna for the King Cake Festival and the work that she's done with what goes on with the schools. I'm proud to have been a member of that and continue to serve there. I also founded a nonprofit for the youth group run by the Sheriff's Office, which funds many of its things. And for the last couple of years, I've been working trying to assist where I can. The last year, especially with Bayou Community Foundation and its Anchor program, which I was very proud to sit on with Mr. Lynn Chasson and Mr. Daniel Lorraine last week at the Cutoff Youth Center as they're looking at what services are needed in the South Lafourche area of this parish. For leadership, I was a founding secretary and 2-time president of the Lafourche Deputies Association. I served 10 years on the executive board of Louisiana Association of Crisis Negotiators, 2 as president and 2 as past president, during which time I served 6 years on the National Committee of Negotiation Agencies, setting the standards for negotiators and crisis intervention throughout the nation. I was the RAD director, state director, that stands for Rape Aggression Defense for Women, for 3 years. And I was also headed up our response with Orleans Parish to assist them with Mardi Gras. And they thought so much of me that after their recent troubles in supervision in Orleans Parish, they started a training program for leadership, and I was the first instructor invited to come in and do 2 hours on leadership for their supervisors. I also sit on the Southeast Louisiana Human Services Authority, SLASHA. I sit on their regional committee for crisis intervention, where I teach active listening and do scenario training. I'll be doing that next week in St. Charles. Leadership is defined as sharing a vision, inspiring others, and enabling that group to meet that need and then give them credit for making it. That's what I want to be, a leader. I have experience in leadership. I have experience in community service. I also want to kill any rumors before they get started. I've had people say, well, what are you going to do about the current administration and the people that work for parish government? I'm not coming in here with 5 new people to take over this parish government. There's good people that work here. I respect them, and I consider many of them my friends, and I've worked with them for years. I'm here to be the parish president, not to rewrite everything. I'm here to ask for people's consideration in that. I believe in servant leadership. Share the goal, allow the team to achieve it, and thank them when it was accomplished. I want to be your servant leader. I have a proven history of leadership, community involvement, 33 plus years and over 40 emergency responses. I've been here for hurricanes, active shooter at the Rose Cutoff. I was there for the oil spill and the floods. I have boots on the ground experiences as well as leadership. Dr. Phil was once quoted as saying the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. I ask you to simply look at my past behavior to know where I'll be in the future. Yesterday, today, and every day, I am Elliott Day, and I humbly ask your consideration to be your Lafourche Parish President, a new day for Lafourche. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Day.
Ms. Jessica Delon, if you come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Please remember you have 3 minutes.
My name is Jessica Delon. My address is 120 East 58th Street in Cutoff. I'm here today. I've been here multiple times before regarding land division on my property that through my neighbor, Mr. Terry Dorey, I found out I was not legally put on I forget what it's called, the map. All I know is it's known as the map. For 10 years now, I was getting my tax paperwork, all of that stuff. I have all my paperwork from the clerk of court that my property existed as mine. Come to find out at some point in time, something fell apart, that I was not put on the map as legally owning my property, that Mr. Terry Dorey, which is my neighbor, still owned the property. And come to find out this was from like something that went on 20 plus years ago, long before I got in the picture. I've come here a couple of times before. I've been working with Mr. David, Ms. Lynn, and Mr. Daniel to go ahead and get all of that corrected so that it could become my property, so Mr. Terry could move forward with what he's trying to do on his property, which is put another trailer for his parents. In the mix of all of this, what we're here for today is I have to ask for 2 variances for the council to vote on. The first one being that my driveway is not the 25 feet wide. I believe it's 15. The second one is the fire hydrant issue. I know that the law or the rule states that I have to be within 500 feet. I had Lafourche Parish Fire District come and measure it. There was some discrepancies with that. I came last time with the planning commission meeting and they said that I'd have to come back. I have all of my paperwork and everything to have it voted on today. And I've been speaking with Ms. Lynn and Mr. Daniel about it to have it corrected. I don't know what else I have to say.
Yeah, both those ordinances will come up, and you're welcome to come up and speak on each one as well if you like, certainly.
Okay, if I need to, I will.
Very good. Mr. Lorraine, you have the
But
floor,
talk
sir.
to Ms. DeLynn, too, because it's between the
Yes.
2 districts. That's where the boundary
Yes,
is.
Miss. What happened is East 58. I didn't know that East 58 was divided down the street, and Ms. DeLynn has one side, and Mr. Daniel has the other
She didn't want
side.
to take my side, so she took her side.
We're the better side, though. I've come a couple of times before to have it corrected. We're just I'm guessing, at the point now where we're trying to wrap everything up. So I don't know if y'all have any questions about it. It's been a lengthy issue. You can ask Mr. David. I think it was a lot of I'm really not sure what happened, but this is what I'm here for today.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, that's it.
That's my last one.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Carleen. Brings us to item F, approval of minutes. I'll now entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the September 23rd, 2025 regular session. So moved by Mr. Perk, second by Mr. Pierce. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. That brings us to item G, public hearing and ordinances for ratification. I'll now entertain a motion to open public hearing. So moved by Mr. Brumfield, second by Mr. Perk. All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 2, ordinance ordering and calling a special election to be held in the Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, to authorize the continuations of ad valorem taxes therein, making applications to the State Bond Commission, and providing for other matters and connections therewith. This was sponsored by Mr. Perk for the administration. This was deferred from the 9/23/25 LPC meeting. No public hearing held. Can someone second that motion for Mr. Perk? Second by Mr. Brumfield. Would anyone from the public like to comment on the ordinance at number 2? Second call, public input, ordinance at number 2. Last and final call. Anyone from the public wants to comment on this ordinance? There be none. Anyone from the council? Go ahead, Mr. Lorraine. You have the floor, sir.
1.67, wasn't at one time that was with drainage and 2 or 3 other things? So now it's by itself?
If someone can answer it, press your button. Can anyone answer that? Mr. Ogeron has pressed his button. You have any other questions?
That's Proposition 1, the one we're talking about.
All right. Mr. Ogeron, you have the floor,
There's
sir.
2 separate ordinances for the library. That's the other one.
Hold on, Mr. Lorraine. Do you have a follow-up question for press your button? Press your button. All right, go ahead.
The 1.67, didn't they have drainage and something else with it at one time? I'm just asking. I always thought. Maybe I thought wrong. I don't know. So that's by itself, 1.67. And then the other one is by itself. So that would be 2 different propositions on the ballot. Right? Yes. Okay.
All right. I think I've already called. So any further discussion amongst the council? All right, let's bring it to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 3, ordinance granting a variance from Lafourche Parish subdivision regulations from the installation of a fire hydrant in the proposed Jessica DeLone division as not recommended by the Lafourche Parish Planning Commission at their August 27, 2025 meeting. So moved by Mr. Lorraine for the administration, second by Ms. Chesson. Would anyone from the public like to comment on the ordinance at number 3? Second call, public input, ordinance at number 3. Last and final call. Anyone from the public wants to comment on the ordinance at number 3? Mr. Lorraine, you have the floor. Well, you still had it. Press your button again. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. What this is, gentlemen, is it's short of the 500 feet, but I think, Noonan, you on the parish-wide deal, and I think what the Planning Commission did, they're going according to what we have on the books, but I think there's a move, instead of 500 foot for a hydrant, they're working on trying to come up with 1,000 feet. And that would solve a lot of problems, because all your fire trucks today are in better, more equipment and more things today than they had 20 years ago.
So you have a question. So you have a question for Ms. Jessica, because it looks like she wants to answer one of your questions.
No, questions for her.
I think she wants to answer one of your questions. You can come up to answer this question. Can you put the mic live? Okay, it's live.
Okay. So
Just state your name and address so the minutes will get picked up.
I'm sorry, Jessica DeLone, 120 East 58th Street. I have the maps. I brought some of the maps. If you want me to explain it to you, what happened, where my property sits, like the side of my property is closer to the highway. So whenever the fire department, the chief came and he measured, I was in the 500 feet of a newer fire hydrant. I have the fire hydrant number and everything there, that he told me if a fire were to happen at my home, he was like, look, we would probably park along the highway, and he said they could connect to that hydrant, or they could even pump from the bayou if need be. But what I think, from my understanding, what puts me out of the 500 feet is that the front of my property, like the driveway, the access point to the street, is not within the 500 feet. So I think that's kind of the discrepancy that I understood that's going on.
But I did talk to Devin, the Fire District 3 chief, and he said they did not see any problems with it. And I got a letter here from Freddie, Freddie passed away years ago, and I had this similar problem on East 95th Street. And I got a letter right here from him that says that they could put out any fire that they have anywhere.
Right.
So.
And I have a letter from it's not from Devin. It's the gentleman second in command in the Mr. Devin. And he said the only problem would be if somebody would build on that property by the highway. But when all of this is actually done with, I'm working on purchasing that property from the LeBlancs who currently own it. So if I own that property, unless I build on it, and like he said, like they're not gonna not put out somebody's fire, but my understanding is that that's the discrepancy in it, that my point of access, my driveway is not within the 500, but where they would access the fire is.
I'm not against it. I'm trying to get the council to vote
Oh,
for
okay.
it.
I'm sorry. I should have talked to y'all. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to get the council, because this is not the first time this has happened. It's happened many times. But once they're going to change the law, it's going to be a lot better for all of us.
Right.
Because a lot of it, we won't have to give a variance.
And I'd definitely be in it because I'm like right underneath the 500 feet from my technical point of access.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate if they would consider helping you out, because we've helped many others out.
And I have like the map to kind of explain it because it's confusing. The whole thing's been very confusing. But I mean,
all right.
I have it if y'all need to see it.
Mr. Perk?
2 questions.
Yes.
No.
First question, what is your address?
It's 120 East 58th Street in Cutoff.
I'm trying to look at it on.
Yeah, we had looked at the
Now,
pictures sometime.
and
ago.
another thing that's happening is on the map, it does not, I do not, that property does not exist on the map. However, and I have it with me,
Is that
I have
an
my
empty
tax.
lot?
I'm sorry?
It's an empty lot currently?
No, I have my mobile home on it.
Okay, so it's right behind a second.
Yes, it's like the first house, and then my driveway
On the
comes
left.
right here, and then there's another. I'm kind of a ways set
Okay,
back.
I can see it. Yeah, you set back off to
Right.
the property
My
line.
tax,
Okay.
because I've been getting tax bills for 10 years now, and I was like, well, how come I'm getting a tax bill and y'all saying this is not my property? That's crazy.
Okay.
So the address exists, like it exists in 911. A few years ago, we actually had to call 911 for me to be picked up in an ambulance, and they found it. It's just I'm not on the map.
Okay.
Which is stopping Mr. Doré from doing what he wants to do.
And then David, how far was,
If you want to ask Mitch, and then if he wants to get with the planning commission.
yeah, I was just looking for the footage. It's how much it
Does the
exceeds
administration have that?
500 feet.
Oh,
Hold on, you're going to have to come up. Dave, if you don't mind, just state who you are so Dennis will get picked
David
up.
Poisson, Lafourche Parish Planning Department here. But current regulations state that a fire hydrant needs to be within 500 feet of the lot you're creating. And I understand that the fire hydrant is closer, but if someone was to construct in the empty lot, then I understand the firemen will do what they have to put the fire out, but it does, create a problem for them. And it's not my position to go against the regulations.
Right.
No, understood. And we respect that. And we know that we just had these, several fatalities, so we all have to be very careful on what we do when it comes to fires. Is that it, Mr. Perk?
Yeah, it's just, it's just like Nooney said, the chairperson said, it's just, when we come to these regulations with fire, especially with liability and exposure, and we've got several firemen here on the council, we're just very hesitant to go against that, but I'll let everybody speak their piece. Thank you.
Just for the record, I did attend the fire district meeting, and there is something in the working, but it's not current. It's just.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Melvin. You have the floor, sir.
So if somebody builds on a new lot, that doesn't affect you, correct? That's separate from you?
It currently it is separate from me. It was in the works before for me to purchase that lot, and then all of this came up, and I was like, well, I don't even own this some places I do own this property, some places I don't. So that kind of just got put aside because it was like, okay, like I kind of have to fix this mess
Right.
before I can add on. But there's currently nothing there. It's the LeBlanc family.
Okay, so, but I mean, it doesn't affect you dealing with what we're doing right now?
No, sir.
Okay, good.
No, sir. No, sir. They're just, and Devin had told me that. He said if someone were to build on that, he explained it that they would have to cross the property. And he's like, they're still not going to not put out a fire, but there's that.
Yeah. And the challenge is that it's you do for one, you really should be doing for all. And there's so many of the same, you're not unique. There's a tremendous number of the same issues across the parish. And I do thank David for attending the last Chiefs Association meeting. And he's right, we don't really object. We like to stay neutral. For me personally, I respect what the Planning Commission does. They take their time, they research it, and I just want to be uniform in how because my neighbor, I've said this, I don't know how many times, had to spend $10,000 to put a hydrant on my property because he couldn't cut across the property. So that hydrant is on, he doesn't own it. He didn't get to, when he sells his house, he didn't get to leave with it. So anyway, I do not object to changing the regulations, but for me, it's just I want to be fair to everybody.
Right.
You have a follow-up, Mr. David?
That's what we're currently working towards. And, we're not saying that Mr. Long didn't purchase property. We're trying to correct something that happened years ago that should not have happened, because in Lafourche Parish, it is a PLS, professional land surveyor, that can establish property lines. A notary cannot do that in Lafourche.
Yeah. All right, very good. Thank you, Ms. Jessica. All right, if there's no further discussion, we'll bring it to a vote. All in favor of granting the variance as not recommended, state aye. Aye. All against, say nay. Nays, raise your hand. So motion passes with 6 yeas, 2 nays. Those nays being Councilman O'Ten, Councilman Perk, and 1 absence being Councilman Adams. So you got your variance, Ms. Jessica. That said, brings us to item 4, ordinance granting a variance from Lafourche Parish subdivision regulations from the 25-foot frontage off of a public road to reduce to 15 feet in the proposed Jessica DeLone division as recommended by the Lafourche Parish Planning Commission at their August 27, 2025 meeting. So moved by Mr. Lorraine for the administration, second by Mr. Araby. Would anyone from the public like to comment on the ordinance at number 4? Second call, public input, ordinance at number 4. Last and final call. Anyone from the public wants to comment on ordinance at number 4? Anyone from the council? Go ahead, Ms. Lynn.
Okay, so this is the driveway. When you purchase that front lot, I am assuming, and maybe I shouldn't, that will be your driveway coming off the highway. You won't be accessing from 58th Street anymore?
So once again, I'm sorry, Jessica, you have to state your name and address for the record, just so the minutes pick it up.
Is that the plans?
Jessica DeLone, 120 East 58th Street, cutoff. So to have the property legally okay, what happened first was the driveway was a right-of-way to my sister and brother-in-law on the side of me, because we had understood and were explained that as long as we had a right-of-way. Yes, I have some maps if y'all need it.
Okay. This one was recommended by Planning Commission.
Okay.
But you can't make it wider. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. The ambulance was able to come scoot. It was big enough to scoot me up. But so legally, the driveway is no longer a right-of-way. The driveway, we are trying to make it legally under my name so that whenever I am able to purchase that lot by the highway, I would like to make it an access to the highway. I'd have to put, gravel or whatever there. That's my plans. But in the meantime,
we're just granting the grant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any further discussion? There being none, we'll bring it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. So you got your variance again, Ms. DeLone. All right, that brings us now to item 5. Ordinance approving an act of donation between Lafourche Parish Government and Pavement Services for the donation of reclaimed asphalt pavement and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said donation and any all relevant documents. Mr. Araby for the administration, second by Mr. Melvin. Anyone from the public like to comment on the ordinance at number 5? Second call, public input, ordinance at 5. Last and final call. Anyone wants to comment on this ordinance? Anyone from the council? Mr. Araby, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, I just want to thank the administration for making this happen, you know, paying attention to what's going on next door, and was able to get a bunch of recycled material for nothing. So thank y'all.
All right. Any further discussion? There will be none. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. I now entertain a motion to close public hearing. So moved by Mr. Perk, second by Mr. Brumfield. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item H, proposed ordinances. Mr. Perk, if you press your button, you have the mic, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Number 6, proposed ordinance to install a no 18-wheelers turning in parking lot sign off of West 111th Street off of LA1, Cutoff, Louisiana, Ward 10, District 9, Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, requiring the placement of a no 18-wheelers turning in parking lot sign and providing penalties for the violations thereof, introduced by Councilman Lorraine. Number 7, proposed ordinance establishing a 15 miles per hour speed limit on St. James Street, Gaines, Louisiana, Ward 8, District 6, Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, providing for the placement of a speed limit sign and providing penalties for the violations thereof, introduced by Councilman Araby. Number 8, proposed ordinance approving a servitude agreement between Lafourche Parish Water District Number 1 and Lafourche Parish Government in the Thibodaux area, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Councilman Melvin for the administration. Number 9, proposed ordinance renewing the LaRousse Boat Launch Facility road right-of-way and canal use lease agreement and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Chairman Otam for administration. Number 10, proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 6993 that declared property as surplus belonging to Lafourche Parish government, authorizing the disposal of surplus property, authorizing the advertising of surplus items for sale, authorizing the acceptance of the highest qualified bidders, and remaining items that are deemed to have no value will be properly discarded, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Councilperson Chasson for administration. Number 11, proposed ordinance ordering and calling a special election to be held in the parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, to authorize the continuation of a special tax therein, making application to the State Bond Commission, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Chairman Otam for administration. Number 12, proposed ordinance approving an agreement between South Central Planning and Development Commission and Lafourche Parish Government transferring ownership of the 2024 Generac Power System 7508 and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Chairman Otam for administration. Number 13, proposed ordinance approving an agreement between South Central Planning and Development Commission and Lafourche Parish Government transferring ownership of the 2024 Generac Power System 7509 and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Chairman Otam for administration. Number 14, a proposed ordinance to adopt the 2026 operations and maintenance and capital budget for the Lafourche Parish Council, as well as setting the salaries of unclassified employees as provided for by Article 5 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter. Chairman Otam for administration, and that is it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Purd. Brings us to item I, schedule the budget, public hearings, and enactment of the 2026 budget ordinance. Item 15, schedule the first budget public hearing. I'll now entertain a motion to schedule the first budget public hearing on November 11, 2025 at 5 p.m. So moved by Mr. Perk, second by Mr. Brumfield. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 16, to schedule the second budget public hearing. I'm not entertaining a motion to schedule the second budget public hearing on November 12, 2025 at 5 p.m. So moved by Mr. Perk, second by Mr. Araby. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 17, schedule enactment of the 2026 budget ordinance. I'm not entertaining a motion to schedule the enactment of the 2026 budget ordinance on November 25th, 2025. So moved by Mr. Lorraine, second by Mr. Pierce. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. And that brings us to item J, resolutions. Item 18, resolution approving a cooperative endeavor agreement between Pavement Services and Lafourche Parish government for the donation of reclaimed asphalt pavement and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Araby for the administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 19, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between Lafourche Parish government and Central Lafourche High School to establish a temporary emergency shelter site and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said memorandum of understanding and any and all relevant documents. Mr. Araby for the administration, second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 20, resolution approving a sidewalk agreement between the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development and Lafourche Parish Council for the project titled LA 20, St. Patrick Street, LA 304, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Melvin for the administration, second by Mr. Araby. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 21, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Lafourche Parish School Board, Career Magnet Center, and Lafourche Parish government to provide service and maintenance on parish-owned vehicles and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any relevant documents. Mr. Araby for the administration, second by Mr. Pierce. Any discussion? I'll just make a comment. I think that's a great service that'll go on there at that location. With that being said, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 22, resolution rescinding resolution number 25-163 that accepted the quote of Chesson's Demolition LLC in the amount of $4,000 for contractor services related to the demolition of condemned structure located at 227 East 85th Street, Cutoff, Louisiana 70345, assessment number 0102339010, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any all relevant documents. Mr. Lorraine for the administration, second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? Mr. Lorraine, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, I think they already did this one. I want to make sure, but I'm sure because I went to Icarra and it wasn't there anymore.
So you want to make sure, but all right. So it's gone. All right, good deal. Saves us $4,000. Very good. Any further discussion? We'll bring it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 23, resolution approving an agreement between Lafourche Parish government and the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority for the North Bayou Lewis Terracing Project and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant document. Mr. Lorraine for the administration, second by Mr. Araby. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 24, resolution approving an agreement between Louisiana Claims Administrators and Lafourche Parish government to administer workers' compensation and general liability claims, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Perk on behalf of the administration, second by Mr. Brumfield. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 25. Resolution accepting the bid from BET Construction Incorporated in the total amount of $671,768 for the project titled Hurricane Ida Repair Renovation, Sheriff's Office Interior Phase 2, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer an agreement and any all relevant documents. Mr. Perk for the administration, second by Mr. Pierce. Any discussion? Mr. Ogeron, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 25 and actually item 26 are tied together. Item 25 is actually what we rescinded a few weeks back. We actually had took a change order that had a reduction. The sheriff's building that we own on Canal Street, the exterior is in the process of getting completed, and the sheriff did ask to do some additional work that he's funding. And if you look at the next item, you'll see that that one's for $457,000. He is covering that cost, and that's what that CEA is for. So we're only going to be covering a very small portion of the overall project. But I wanted to let you know that we had talked about at the last one that we were going to bring it or take it back and rebid it. And fortunately, we even have a local company, Betco, that's doing the work.
Very good. Any further discussion before we bring this to a vote? Mr. Arabi, you have the floor, sir.
So, Mitch, so what you're saying here is the $671,000 is going to be partly reimbursed with the $400-somewhat-thousand? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was on the right page.
All right, thank you, Mr. Arabi. Any further discussion? Bring this one to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 26, resolution approving an agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office to provide reimbursement for alternate number 1 in the amount of $457,896 for the project titled Hurricane Ida Repair Renovation, Sheriff's Office Interior Phase 2, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Perk for the administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 27, resolution authorizing 4 Lafourche Parish government employees to participate in the Louisiana Property Assistance Agency Preference Buyer Program and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and all relevant documents. Mr. Perk on behalf of the administration, second by Mr. Arabi. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 28, resolution authorizing 5 Lafourche Parish government employees to purchase surplus federal property from the Louisiana Federal Property Assistance Agency and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and all relevant documents. Mr. Perk for the administration, second by Mr. Arabi. Any discussion? So that's federal employees working right now? All right. There's no further discussion. We'll bring it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. I only say that because we finally gotten to a point of about 2 fire stations with FEMA, and all of a sudden now we stop because they can't work. All right. With that said, item 29, resolution appointing 1 member to the Fire Protection District Number 1 Board. Mr. Arabi for the administration. And Mr. Arabi, who do you have?
1 vacancy, 1 applicant, Mr. Andre Danos.
Mr. Danos, second by Mr. Melvin. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. Absence being Councilman Adams. Item 30, resolution appointing 1 member to the Lafourche Parish Commission on Women Board. Mr. Perk for the administration. And who do you have, Mr. Perk?
We have 1 vacancy, 1 application, Brooke Robo.
I get a second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 31, resolution reappointing 1 member to the Recreation District Number 8 Board. Mr. Arabi for the administration. And who do you have, Mr. Arabi? Press your button. Press your button. All right, you got it.
1 vacancy, 1 reappointment, Mr. Michael O'Gwen.
Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 32, resolution appointing one member on the Lafourche Parish Planning Commission Board. Mr. Lorraine for the administration. And who do you have, Mr. Lorraine?
One vacancy, one applicant, Jake Sheremy.
Mr. Sheremy, second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, one absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 33, resolution appointing one member on the South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority Board. Mr. Melvin for the administration. And who do you have, Mr. Melvin?
One vacancy, one applicant, Mr. Adam Chauvin.
Mr. Chauvin, second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, one absence. That absence being Councilman Adams.
I didn't get that, Mr. Chairman. Somebody brought me this. I didn't get that vote.
So it was 8 yeas, 0 nays, one absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. The motion was by Mr. Melvin for the administration, second by Ms. Chesson.
Thank you.
You good?
Yes, sir.
Need a break?
No.
All right. Item 34, resolution appointing one member to the Housing Authority of Lafourche Parish Board. Mr. Araby for the administration. And who do you have, Mr. Araby?
One vacancy, one nomination, Ms. Catherine Beeman.
Second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, one absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. And we're on to our last page. Item 35, resolution approving change order number 2 for the project titled Sugar Ridge Pump Station Rehabilitation, increasing the contract price by $9,350 and adding 36 additional days to the contract time, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said change order and any all relevant documents. Mr. Perk for the administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? Mr. Ogeron, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If y'all recall, for the last change order that we had, we actually reduced the price by $100,000, so we're still well within budget with this project. And this is to actually make some adjustments on the fuel system, make it a little bit more resilient. Thanks.
And the extra time hopefully doesn't affect anything, because we're getting out of that bad season as we're starting to cool down. All right, if there's no further discussion, we'll bring it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, one absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 36, resolution approving an agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and Duplantis Design Group, PC, to provide engineering and design services for the maintenance and repair for parish-owned streetlights, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Mr. Araby for the administration, second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? None. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously with 8 yeas, 0 nays, and one absence. That absence being by Councilman Adams. I'm a little enthusiastic on that one. Item 37, resolution approving change order number 5 for the project titled Hurricane Ida Galliano Government Complex Interior Rebuild, increasing the contract price by $207,393.37. Authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said change order and any all relevant documents. Mr. Lorraine for the administration, second by Ms. Chesson. Discussion. Mr. Ogeron, you have the floor first, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. For this particular item, again, this is one is a large chunk of change, but I would like to take a moment to explain exactly what we have going on here. This is actually to address our lift station and sewer system that we have here. There is only one single lift station, and the lift station that is there services 2 restaurants and the whole rest of the building. We've had nothing but issues associated with that particular lift station, and it's owned by the investment group that owns the rest of the building. This actually is going to allow us to install our own lift station such that we don't have sewer backup into the building once it's completed. And the next thing that we're going to have to look at and address, and not too long from now, is going to be the actual sewer system itself. I've been in discussions personally with the other neighboring property owner, Dorsey Investments, to split the cost on that sewer unit. But this is to install our own independent lift station. That way we can control our own destiny and not have grease and other materials that we don't want in a lift station and ultimately causing backups into a brand-new building that is coming along beautifully, which we actually toured, Deanna, myself, and James this afternoon, which we'll be putting pictures up also on Facebook. So this allows us to keep to our schedule on opening it in January. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Ogeron. Mr. Lorraine, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, as you said, that doesn't belong to the parish, that sewer system. They put that on the parish's property. And it's always been problems with that thing, according to the residents that live there. So my question to you, with all this and all this 7,138,000, is the parish paying and the library board paying, or FEMA's paying, or who's paying for all this? The whole project. Is FEMA participating in this?
Mr. Lorraine, if you got any other questions, ask them out before I cut you off to recognize Mr. Ogeron. You got this it for now?
No, you got, the complex is the parish government and the library, right?
Before I can recognize him, that's it. I got to cut you off to put him up. All right, Mr. Ogeron, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Councilman Lorraine, yes, it is owned by Lafourche Parish government. That portion of the building and property is owned by us. That is correct. FEMA is participating in this. We have to finish settling our insurance before FEMA picks up the additional cost. So we're using the bond that you guys and gals have approved back when to cover that. FEMA has issued an obligation, but they won't reimburse us until we're finished with the insurance. But to answer your question, yes, FEMA is picking up the cost, along with whatever proceeds we get from the insurance company.
I'll tell you this, I just got 3 emails from FEMA, so I guess they're working for free right now.
Some departments are working, Mr. Chairman, in various areas.
I'm just looking, I just got 3 emails from FEMA.
It's been spotty.
All right, you have a follow-up, Mr. Lorraine? Are you good? You want me to pray? Okay. So my question is, this, I think, so I do have a question. You're sponsoring it. You're in favor of it?
What's that?
You're sponsoring this. You are in favor of it? Yeah. Okay. I'm just making sure.
I gotta keep them
all right. All right. I'll vote with you on this one. All right. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. And that brings us to item 38, resolution accepting the completion of the project titled LA1 Lafourche Parish Government Center Trailhead, state project number H.013369, and authorizing the parish president to sign and execute and administer any all relevant documents. Mr. Araby for the administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. That absence being Councilman Adams. Item 39, resolution accepting a grant for Homeland Security equipment from South Central Planning and Development Commission funded through the fiscal year 22 Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness Grant number EMT-2022-EP-0003 and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any all relevant documents. This will be Mr. Araby on behalf of the administration, second by Mr. Pierce. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. And that brings us to item K, Parish President, Department Heads, Directors, or Managers' Reports, Presentations, and our updates. Item 40, Department of Public Works Representative to present a report. Mr. Sonny, you have the floor, sir.
You should all have the October report, and I have the quality report for y'all.
Very good. Thank you, sir. So you're going to go through this or no? Go ahead, Mr. Ogeron. Wait, let me cut Sonny off. All right, you got it.
So, Mr. Chairman, in the past, we were doing a quarterly just presentation. We can email it to you. We can present it. It's purely your preference, sir.
I'm good with emails. Fine.
Okay.
Fine by me. Is everyone in agreement then? Yeah, so I'm going to jump to item L, questions for the administration. And Mr. Lorraine, you have the floor first, sir.
Yeah, I just want to ask on that, Brent, the roach, the right-of-ways, what's holding us up? I think they went and meet with him, and this guy wants to give us the right-of-ways to dig, but this has been going on for a while. It's been going on with the other administration for too long. So I hope this one gets it done. You know what I'm talking about? South of West 159 on 3235 on the west side. The guy's willing to give us the right-of-ways, and it will take care of everything on the east side of 3235. So just hope we can get it done soon. Been waiting long enough. I don't want to say nothing bad about the other administration, but I'm almost fixing to, but that's okay.
You have any other questions for the administration, Mr. Lorraine, you want to bring up right now? So, because there's a long list. Looks like we have a lot of lights lit up. Go ahead.
I just want to say about the trash, it got a lot better. And I thank you guys for jumping in. In my district, it got way better. I think Sam and his staff, along with River Birch, I could see the difference. I don't know about you guys, but I could see the difference from us having that meeting. We had a meeting with Mitch, and then the council kind of got a little active at the last meeting, and I could see the difference, and I want to thank him, and I hope they continue the service that they're doing now. You know, they caught up in my area, and I hope they did it all in the rest of the parish, but I hope they continue it, because I will be keeping an eye on them.
Thank you, Mr. Lorraine. And with that said, TA, you have the floor, sir.
I just got I want to thank the Department of Public Works, Mr. Sonny and his crew, and the trustees for going to take care of a little issue I had right there by the overpass, by the South Service Road, and also the parish president making that happen for us. It really looks good. They did a great job. Thank y'all.
All right. That brings us to Mr. Perk. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You press your button after I recognize you. So unfortunately, you go back to the bottom of the list. Sorry about that. Mr. Pierce, go ahead.
I just, Mitch, I don't know if you recall this, that a while back, Archie and I had, there was an issue on Lake Long with a drainage issue and possibly putting a pump in, some money we got from Mike Feasey, Senator Mike Feasey. I haven't heard any kind of progress report on that in a couple of months now. I know they were supposedly starting to do the survey work. Where are we at with that project? That's it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pierce. And that brings us to Mr. Melvin.
Pass me up. Is it already pressed my button?
Once I recognize you, can't press your button again. Mr. Perk, you have the floor, sir. You're back to the bottom of the list, Melvin. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. President, just relative to Resolution 36, I know this is, we had the Planus Design Group do a lights for the lights that were owned by Energy, and you were supposed to meet with them. I was just curious if we've made any progress relative to the 1,200 lights, I think, that were out, something like that. So it was interesting as I was driving south a couple of weeks ago, and it was dark. I was thinking about Chairman Otan, because my wife and I started counting, and we caught like 20 of them within a 2-mile distance. So just curious.
Yep. Very good question, Mr. Perk. And now, Mr. Melvin, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, I had a question for, I already spoke to Mr. Sonny, but President Ogeron, I know that there was some request to have some levies looked at Thoroughbred and Supercharge, and I spoke to Dwayne Bourgeois, and Dwayne told me, and also Mr. Sonny, that we want to refer him, the gentleman in question, to Dwayne Bourgeois, and Dwayne said he would go over some things with him, and is that okay with y'all? I mean, it's good for now until we see what we're going to do. Thank you.
Levy questions. So, Mitch, you want to front these and then divert where you have to? Sure. All right. So, Mr. Ogeron, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We will follow up with you, Councilman Lorraine, on your right-of-way. I know that we did discuss that and look into it. As far as the trash, you are correct. They have made some progress. Surely they have more progress to make. We do want to also thank River Birch for the fact that they have stepped it up. We met with them last week, to address the issues across the parish, particularly with regards to the bulky pickup and sticking to their schedule in particular. Sam has stayed very close to that. Deanna has as well. So there's been a lot of folks that have been watching this, and of course, any observations that y'all make out in the field, please pass it on to us so we can continue to push on them that they perform. For Lake Long Pump, Councilman Pierce, I can tell you that I met with Stevie Smith a couple weeks ago, and they were in the process of doing their surveys so they can get going with their engineering so we can get that work done. So it is something that we're watching. Yes, Councilman Melvin, please revert him to Director Bourgeois and pass, any of that information over to him. We meet on occasion, typically every other month, to go over items across the entire district for him. And we also do the same thing with South Lafourche. The item that you asked for on the lights, that particular item was we contract with them whenever we need to install a new light. I've actually reached out to Entergy as of late and told them that we have nearly 2,000 lights out across the parish. It is a statewide issue. I've requested a meeting with the CEO. They have yet to grant that meeting. I did tell them that we were going to hold their franchise agreement until they came in and told us how they were going to address the light situation in Lafourche Parish. So apparently they want to put their head in the sand and not make due consideration to our demands and ensuring that we are providing a good public safety and service. So the next step is taking a look at the bill and actually reducing the bill by 20% and short paying that, and hopefully money will make them recognize that they're not serving us appropriately.
Let's just get a program that keeps doing that, because I know it's 4, 5, 6 months repetitively.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank
so,
you.
Mr.
I do have a couple of announcements whenever you're ready.
For under discussion or
No,
questions
just
for administration?
announcements.
Discussion. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Thank you.
Mr. Sonny, you have the floor, sir.
Councilman Lorraine, we did work on those right-of-ways, and after investigating it, we found that we do have right-of-ways on both of those outfalls. So the next step is to get work orders put in and for the outfalls to be cleaned up.
Oh. All right, I got to cut you off, Sonny. And Mr. Lorraine, you have the floor, sir.
If you have the right-of-ways, get with it.
All right, get with it. That's it. All right, brings us. So we have a late, and this is just for discussion. We have a late public wishing to address the council. In my term here, 10 years, I've never seen this. So if y'all are interested, we could have a motion where we deviate from the agenda and go back to public wishing to address the council. Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Lorraine that we deviate from the regular agenda and revert back to item G? No, I'm sorry, item E. Public wishing to address the council. Is that your motion, Mr. Lorraine? Second by Mr. Araby. All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Councilman Adams. I would just say that we try to keep it to the 3 minutes.
Yes. Ms. Lisa Machen, come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Please remember you have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Lisa Machen. I think I'm in District 6. I wanted to say thank you for the good job you did with the hurricane. It was pretty amazing. So I'm here to talk about domestic abuse and asking for transparency and funding. I'm looking to provide a public disclosure of federal, state, and parish funds allocated for domestic abuse or family violence-related services. I'm looking to identify which agencies or departments, including but not limited to Lafourche Parish police officers, Sheriff's Department, Police Department, Lafourche Parish School Board, what do they receive, manage, and redistribute of these funds? I'd like clarity as to whether any of these funds are redirected, commingled, funneled into unrelated programs, general budgets, administrative costs. And I'd like to see published documentation showing how compliance and audits are conducted to ensure funds are used for their intended purpose, to protect victims and further abuse. About 75,000 women and children live in our district. They say about 25% of women and children are affected by domestic abuse. Untrained officials will see a woman and a child experiencing domestic abuse and call it mental illness, instability. They are not trauma informed, and they do not understand what it is like to be afraid in their own home. There's someone in every one of your districts hurting tonight. There is a child in every one of your districts hiding in their home, covering their ears. We need to protect our women and children. You all know, we all say, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? Our purpose isn't money. It isn't power. Our purpose is to love each other and to make our communities better. The world's falling apart, but we can start to stop it here. And to address a problem, we have to be able to acknowledge a problem. Where's the money? Where's it going? Why are the first responders, the teachers, the police not asking the right question? Why are women being put into mental institutions and jails trying to protect their own children? This happens nationwide, but it can stop here, and we can do it together. You might say, who am I to be asking this? Who are you to be stepping up? Oh, well, I'm a man. I don't do that. It's not my problem. Who are we not to respond? Who are you to look into the eyes of a woman or a child in this parish and say, I don't know where those funds are going, and I don't know why they didn't treat you right, and I don't know why you're not protected. It has to stop, and it starts with clarity and transparency and no blame. But what can we do? So I'm requesting that this information be presented to me publicly or privately. There is a law in Louisiana that says when you request this information, it should be given to you in 3 days. I've included on this paper all of the legal obligations requiring disclosure, Louisiana Public Law Records, the Violence Against Women Act, the Violence of Crime Act, the Louisiana Domestic Abuse Assistance Act. And there's also, I'd like to say, I am in here in good faith, not speaking confrontation, but clarity. Transparency is not only a legal duty of this board, it is an act of respect for the residents that you represent. Thank you for your service.
Oh. Is that it?
No, it was
So she's asking for a Freedom of Information Act specific only to this council, because we can only address what this council's, and so she does she need to submit something in writing to you, Ms. Carlene? And that would be only specific to us, and that's it. So all these other entities, funding sources, you'd have to identify and go after them. And because I didn't hear you mention any funding sources that you're asking of. You're asking how they're being spent. So it might be a little confusing on how you.
Well, I have 3 minutes, so
yeah.
I do have the funding sources.
Understood.
I mean, I think y'all administrate about $58 million, correct?
In domestic violence,
no, not in domestic violence completely. And I think a lot of those grants overlap controlling the rights and laws that protect women and children. I don't know how it's funding and how it's going into that program, but I know that you have a commission for women, and I think it's only $10,000. So out of a $58 million budget, I know that those things have to go through a grant process. But some of those grants do overlap to protect women and children.
I would request if you stay after the meeting, you can just consult with Ms. Carlene. She'll make sure she gets the right information for exactly, so she can try to research exactly what you're looking for.
Absolutely, and I'm only looking for you guys to give me the information that you can. I know we all have limited things within our scope of control.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Very good. I'll now entertain a motion to resume back to a regular scheduled meeting. So move. And that's bringing us back to item M discussion. So moved by Mr. Araby, second by Mr. Melvin. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent. Absence being Councilman Adams. Brings us to item M, discussion. And Mr. Ogeron, I know you have some discussion. If you want to press you, we'll recognize you first. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple of items. So with senior sources, we had a senior sources event in La Rose that our district attorney, Christine Russell, puts on and invites all the elected officials to provide services to our seniors. We had one in La Rose today, but there will be another one coming up in Thibodaux on Tuesday, 10/21. That is a week from today at 11 a.m. So, of course, inviting council members to come by if you can. Also, I'm sure that you have already received information on this, but I want to remind you that on Thursday, that is this Thursday, October 16th, we're doing a dedication for the Port Fouchon Terraces and Living Shoreline. If you could come out, there's going to be a dedication at 11 a.m., and then there's going to be a lunch and a project tour of the area also. So that is, again, Thursday, October 16th at 11 a.m. down in Fouchon. I want to personally invite everyone to come. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Ogeron. Anyone else have any kind of discussion? Mr. Lorraine, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, what I want to do is last Friday on October the 10th, there was at the Golden Meadow Oak Ridge Park, there was a trunk or treat. And I want to thank the Mayor Buziga, Councilman Jody Sheremy, Councilman Kip Plaisance, Councilman Nancy Filinich, Councilman Mike Billiard, and Councilman Connie Demir, who's in charge of the park. They had over 2,000 people there, and they gave out hot dogs, drinks. The kids enjoyed themselves. I think the grown-ups enjoyed themselves more than the kids. They had some of them that were costumes. It was unbelievable, man. And I just want to thank them for putting that on. I'm telling you, they had Mr. Day was there. They had at least 2,000 people, maybe more. And I want to thank the town officials for doing that. And I want to thank Mitch for finally starting Oak Ridge, Ridgewood Drive and Ducey Street. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Lorraine. So I'll end the meeting by once again, because we are in October, which is Fire Prevention Month. Just remind everyone, your constituents, to make sure they have smoke alarms. They actually do make a difference. They do save lives. Each of the fire departments have access to smoke alarms through the State Fire Marshal's office. So please get that word out. We certainly appreciate it. And with that said, I now entertain a motion that there being no further business, the Lafourche Parish Council regular meeting of October 14, 2025 will be adjourned. So moved by Mr. Perk, second by Mr. Brumfield. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And we are adjourned at 18:26 hours by a vote of 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence. That absence being Mr. Adams.